As the global music industry steps into 2026, many artists face a familiar challenge: maintaining relevance in a landscape that moves faster than ever. Trends shift weekly, attention spans shorten, and new releases constantly compete for the spotlight. Yet, as January 2026 unfolds, one name continues to surface with remarkable consistency: Jungkook. Without new solo releases, without aggressive promotion, and with limited public appearances, Jungkook's solo career continues to demonstrate an enduring strength that few artists achieve. His music remains widely streamed, discussed, and referenced across platforms, an indication that his influence is not tied to momentum alone, but to longevity. This quiet dominance has become one of the most compelling narratives surrounding Jungkook at the start of 2026. In the modern music industry, success is often measured by immediacy: first-week sales, debut chart positions, viral moments. Jungkook's solo career challenges this framework. Entering 2026, his existing catalog continues to perform steadily across global streaming platforms. Songs released years earlier still appear in playlists, recommendation algorithms, and fan-driven streaming events. Industry analysts note that this pattern reflects catalog power, a key indicator of long-term relevance. Rather than fading after promotional cycles end, Jungkook's music maintains consistent engagement, suggesting that listeners return not out of obligation, but preference. This endurance positions his solo career as sustainable rather than seasonal. Stability is rare in pop music. Artists often experience peaks followed by sharp declines, especially when public attention shifts elsewhere. Jungkook's solo trajectory, however, reveals a different pattern, one defined by balance and steady presence. At the beginning of 2026, his music does not dominate headlines through controversy or constant exposure. Instead, it exists quietly within the everyday listening habits of millions worldwide. This stability matters. It signals trust between artist and audience, a relationship built over time, not driven by hype alone. Jungkook's solo career benefits from this trust, allowing it to remain visible even during periods of inactivity. Streaming data plays a central role in understanding Jungkook's endurance as a solo artist. As 2026 begins, his songs continue to register strong daily streams across multiple regions. This global spread highlights another key element of his strength: cross-market appeal. Listeners in Asia, North America, Europe, and beyond engage with his music consistently, suggesting that his appeal is not confined to a single demographic or region. This international consistency reinforces the idea that Jungkook's solo career operates on a global scale, one less vulnerable to localized trends or market shifts. One reason Jungkook's solo work continues to resonate is its artistic identity. His music emphasizes emotional clarity, melodic strength, and performance-driven storytelling, elements that tend to age more gracefully than trend-heavy experimentation. Critics have often described his solo releases as approachable, yet refined, capable of connecting with both casual listeners and long-term fans. As time passes, these qualities allow his songs to remain relevant even as new trends emerge around them. In this way, Jungkook's solo catalog functions less like a snapshot of a moment and more like a collection built for longevity. Public discourse around Jungkook in early 2026 reflects a shift in tone. Rather than focusing on anticipation for what's next, many discussions emphasize appreciation for what already exists. Fans and commentators alike frame his solo career as complete, meaningful, and impactful, even without immediate continuation. This perspective signals maturity, not only in Jungkook's artistry, but in how audiences engage with it. A solo career that can stand confidently without constant expansion is rare. Jungkook's appears to be doing exactly that. As 2026 begins, international media coverage surrounding Jungkook's solo career has taken on a noticeably analytical tone. Rather than speculating about future releases, many outlets focus on what his sustained performance represents. Music journalists highlight Jungkook as a case study in modern longevity, an artist whose catalog continues to thrive without constant renewal. This framing places him in a rare category, typically reserved for legacy artists rather than contemporary pop figures. The implication is clear. Jungkook's solo career has already crossed a critical threshold, from momentary success to lasting relevance. Behind Jungkook's continued presence lies a deeply organized and emotionally invested fan base. At the start of 2026, fan-led initiatives continue to support his music organically. Streaming projects, anniversary celebrations, and global fan discussions maintain momentum without relying on official campaigns. What distinguishes this support is its tone. Fans increasingly emphasize sustainability over urgency. They revisit Jungkook's music not to boost numbers artificially, but because it remains part of their daily lives. This stable foundation forms a stable foundation, one that allows Jungkook's solo career to endure rather than spike and fade. In a digital age where constant visibility is often seen as essential, Jungkook's solo career presents a counterexample. Despite limited public appearances and minimal direct engagement, his digital footprint remains substantial. Searches, mentions, and content related to his music continue to circulate widely at the beginning of 2026. This phenomenon suggests that Jungkook's relevance does not depend on constant reminders. His work has embedded itself into digital culture deeply enough to sustain independent circulation. For industry observers, this reinforces the idea that presence can persist even in silence. When compared with other global solo artists, Jungkook's trajectory stands out. Many artists experience declines once promotional cycles conclude. Jungkook's solo catalog, however, shows consistent engagement patterns similar to artists known for strong catalog longevity. This comparison places him in conversations beyond K-pop, aligning him with global pop figures whose music continues to perform steadily years after release. Such alignment underscores the universality of his appeal and strengthens his standing as a global artist rather than a genre-specific phenomenon. In pop culture, peaks are celebrated, but endurance tells a deeper story. Jungkook's solo career demonstrates that long-term presence often matters more than record-breaking debuts. His sustained relevance suggests trust, emotional connection, and artistic credibility. As early 2026 unfolds, this endurance becomes one of the defining features of his solo narrative. It reframes success not as a single high point, but as a continuous relationship with listeners. One of the most notable aspects of Jungkook's solo career is restraint. Rather than saturating the market, his approach allows space for anticipation and reflection. This restraint prevents fatigue and encourages listeners to engage with his existing work more deeply. Industry commentators increasingly recognize this approach as strategic rather than passive. It aligns with a long-term vision rather than short-term visibility. Jungkook's music continues to resonate because it speaks in a universal emotional language. Themes of connection, vulnerability, confidence, and introspection remain relevant regardless of time or trend. These qualities allow his songs to adapt naturally to new contexts as listeners' lives evolve. At the start of 2026, this emotional accessibility ensures that his solo catalog remains meaningful, not just remembered. Even in the absence of new performances, Jungkook's reputation as a performer continues to influence how his music is perceived. Past stages, live renditions, and visual presentations remain widely circulated, enduring the emotional impact of his songs. This enduring performance legacy enhances his solo work, reminding audiences of the depth behind the recordings. Jungkook's solo endurance cannot be separated from his identity as a BTS member. His solo success strengthens BTS's overall legacy, while the group's history provides depth and context to his individual work. At the beginning of 2026, media narratives increasingly emphasize this synergy, presenting Jungkook not as detached from BTS, but as an extension of its evolving story. Trust is an invisible currency in music. Jungkook's continued relevance reflects a high level of public trust. Listeners believe that his work holds value even without constant reaffirmation. This credibility allows his solo career to stand confidently on its own, without needing constant reinforcement through new content. January 2026 serves as a reflective point. It allows audiences and industry observers to assess what Jungkook's solo career has already accomplished. The conclusion is consistent. His impact has endured beyond expectations. This moment of reflection solidifies his position as an artist whose work has lasting significance. Emerging artists often cite Jungkook as an example of balance between vulnerability and confidence, global appeal and personal authenticity. At the start of 2026, his influence can be traced subtly in vocal approaches, performance styles, and branding strategies adopted by newer acts. This quiet influence further confirms his role as a long-term trendsetter rather than a fleeting star. Jungkook's solo career contributes to a broader redefinition of success. Rather than measuring value through constant output, his journey emphasizes impact, connection, and sustainability. This perspective resonates strongly in 2026 as the industry grapples with burnout and oversaturation. Importantly, the strength of Jungkook's solo career does not rely on predicting what comes next. Its current stability allows space for patience, both for the artist and the audience. This absence of urgency marks a mature phase in his career, where presence alone is enough. As early 2026 unfolds, Jungkook's solo career stands as a testament to durability in a fast-moving industry. It has proven capable of surviving silence, transcending promotional cycles, and maintaining emotional relevance across time. This endurance is not accidental. It is the result of thoughtful artistry, global connection, and trust built over years. And as the year continues, one truth remains clear. Jungkook's solo career is not fading, it is settling into permanence.